and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes, to renting versus selling, and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi and welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have a very special guest. Well, we try to make all our guests special, but today we have a very special guest, and his name is Mark Wall. He is with Waypoint Home Inspections, and today we're going to talk about what to be looking for when buying a home in home inspections, and when you're selling a home, what to look for. Let's try to avoid those pitfalls, but we're not going to tell you everything today, because if you do need more information, you're going to give either myself or Mark a call. So welcome, Mark. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Laura.
So Mark, you've been a home inspector for how long?
16 years.
Okay, so that's a pretty long time. And what did you do before you were a home inspector?
I was actually a corporate risk manager for an insurance broker.
Well, that sounds boring.
No, it actually was kind of cool. We used to travel all over the globe, visiting clients and inspecting their buildings. And
Oh, so you did something similar to what you do now?
yes,
Okay,
that's kind of why we got into this industry.
okay. And what would you say is the biggest reason that you got into this industry? Would you say it was money, or?
No, I don't think it was the money. It doesn't hurt, but no, we love helping people make a decision on what's probably the largest purchase in their life.
Okay, that makes sense. So I know I'm a realtor and I go out on inspections, and a lot of times I'll see that people will have multiple people come out on the inspection. So when your company does a home inspection, do they have a roofer come out separate?
No.
Okay, so you're able to...
We do everything in-house.
Okay, what about termites?
Termites we do in-house. We own a pest control company.
Oh, okay.
The only thing we do not do on our own would be septic inspections and dock and seawall inspections.
And do you have recommendations for people for those?
We have vendors that we use.
Okay, okay.
So everybody is there when we're doing our inspection.
Now, when you inspect a roof, are you using a drone?
It depends on the property. 9 times out of 10, we're walking a roof.
Okay.
If it's a 2-story roof, we'll either use a drone or use a pole camera.
What's a pole camera?
It's a 30-foot extendable pole with a remote control camera
Okay.
on it that we take photos off of a cell phone.
But if you use a drone, and this is, I'm just asking, right, because I'm always wondering what's the difference. If you use a drone, is that, how are you able to tell if a tile's loose? I know you could see a crack, that's easy to tell, but how would you know if the ridge caps are loose?
You can't.
Okay.
And that's why we do our best to get on the roof.
Okay.
The problem is most of the inspectors in our industry use the same workers' comp carriers,
Okay.
and they preclude us from walking a 2nd-story roof. Because technically, like a roofer, we would have to tie off to get on a 2nd-story roof, and you can't tie off if you can't gain access to the truss work.
Right.
So if there's a 2nd-story balcony or patio, we'll go up from there with a ladder.
Okay.
But we do not carry a 30-foot ladder to get on a 2nd-story roof.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to somebody, that's probably like 3-4 months ago, but I was talking to somebody that did fall off of a roof. An inspector did fall off of a roof.
So did I,
Oh, gosh.
11 years ago.
And is that why you needed to have
That's
surgery?
why I just had surgery on my neck.
Okay. Okay.
But it does happen. I mean, knock on wood, all of my guys are safe. They're very cautious. I have 8 inspectors who know that if they see a roof that they don't feel safe getting on, they don't get on it.
Yeah, I actually have seen where the flat roofs would be soft and they would put their foot right through the roof.
Absolutely. In the first 12 years of being an inspector, I hated walking flat roofs more than a pitched roof.
Right, like a tile roof.
Right, because of the fear of you're going to hit a soft spot.
Right.
So, but you get over it. But it's not an exact science. We do the best that we can. The most important part of the home inspection from the roof is going to be when you're in the attic.
You know, I have a question that actually I just thought about that I think is a good question to ask. So when a seller is selling their home, what is their liability for you being on their roof? Let's say the roof is soft. I would say most homeowners don't look up in their ceiling to see that there's a leak, right? That's how most roof leaks are not caught, right? Because most
Correct.
people don't spend time in their attic.
Or doing this.
No, but you know what? By the time it gets to the ceiling, it's been going on for a while. So I guess my question is like, what's the liability for a seller to let somebody come in their home and inspect?
There is none. We're covered by insurance. We're covered by workers' compensation.
Okay.
As a larger company, we provide that blanket of safety
Okay.
to the seller. We've had situations, guys have put their foot through a ceiling.
You fix it.
Right. Things break. We've gotten phone calls 3 days after inspection. What have you done to my air conditioner? Oh, I'm sorry, it's 18 years old. All we did was test it.
Right.
Things happen. If it's something that there is an opportunity that maybe we did damage something, as a company, I don't tell somebody, here, call my insurance company.
No, you wouldn't want to do that.
Well, I tell
Yeah.
them, go get an estimate, and if it's reasonable, we'll help pay for the repair, or I'll send somebody out. My inspector manager, Ken, used to be a contractor. He'll go out and fix something
Okay.
for somebody.
So I guess another question is it true that if a buyer later on gets upset that you missed something, which all inspectors are going to miss something, it happens.
Absolutely.
Like, so we wouldn't say this is in specific, we're talking in generalities, so you're answering in generalities. This isn't
Right.
specific to you. I know inspectors miss stuff. Sometimes the buyer doesn't realize there was a couch in front of an outlet
That doesn't work.
or isn't GFCI protected or something.
Correct.
And then they move in and they say, oh, well, why wasn't this on there? Well, because in the inspection report, if you'd read, it says that they're not going to move the couch in order to check something because they don't know it's there and they're not going to move the people's furniture around.
Correct.
So is it true that if they're not happy with what you did and they wanted to sue you, the most they can get is the cost of the inspection?
If it is, generally, yes, that is true.
Okay.
If it is something so blatant that it's a serious situation, they can sue you for more.
Okay.
In 16 years, we've never had one incident get to our insurance.
That's great.
As a risk manager from my prior career, I can handle the claims better than most insurance adjusters.
Right, and you said you have a staff person, and a lot of people are not at that
Level,
stage to
correct.
do that. So I guess to me, that's pretty important to have it set up that way. But I've seen some interesting things in my time. So tell us anything that you've seen that's kind of like crazy.
Some of the, you see, you walk into houses, and I mean, we do everything from the 700 square foot condos at Kings Point up to the 40,000 square foot homes along the ocean.
Can you tell us the most famous person you've ever done, or is that like confidential? It might be, I don't know.
The most famous, I mean, I've done inspections on the houses on Palm Beach for the owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, okay.
We were in Estee Lauder's house. We were in Mar-a-Lago several times. But couple of the ones recently have us under non-disclosures because they're paying $25, $30, $40 million in cash for houses.
Oh, wow.
But I was doing an inspection in Kings Point years ago, and somebody decided the old style upper oven, cooktop bottom oven, they took the bottom oven out,
Okay.
put a dishwasher in place.
That's a pretty big
And I'm
dishwasher.
looking at it saying to myself, that can't work. There's no way that this is working. And I hit the button and it worked. And the cooktop worked and the upper oven worked.
How the heck do you put a dishwasher and then still keep the cooktop there?
It's the same size.
Oh,
It's 36
okay.
inch
Oh, they did
or
just the
30
cooktop.
inch wide.
Okay. And then, okay.
But then I walked into the master bathroom and they had a light bulb taped to where a shower head would be.
Taped.
And
Okay.
I said, why are you doing that? They said, because the pipe leaks. And I was like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we've kept that picture in my office for years.
That's funny.
You just see certain things. We do fiber optic sewer inspections now.
Okay, that's important.
And every so often, you'll be listening and watching the video, and you'll hear the inspector scream because they'll come up on frogs in the pipes. They'll come up. We've come up on snakes, frogs. And the funny thing is the frogs that are in those pipes are white because they're not exposed to the sun.
Oh, okay.
So it's very comical to listen, so we delete the audio out of these inspections so you don't hear a 40-year-old guy scream like a little girl.
Right. What does it typically cost to do the scoping of the lines?
If you're doing it with a home inspection, it's about $200.
Okay.
Without a home inspection, I think it's about $450.
So I think what's important to talk about is you've got multiple layers and levels of a home inspection. First
Yes.
is the basic home inspection, right, which most people get, and different costs for a condo or for a house based on size and square footage and age, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then we have, now we need a 4-point if the home is now, I hear 20 years versus 30.
Depends on the insurance company. We have
Right.
them on new homes now.
Right. And then you want to get a wind mitigation because of insurance discounts.
Correct.
What is a wind mitigation? It's something that helps to determine whether or not you have all of your coverings, which would be your windows, your front door, your back door, your side pedestrian door, your garage door, that they're hurricane rated. So that's another thing that you need. Then really looking at homes that are of a certain age, or if there is a potential to think that maybe they have polybutylene pipes, which is another thing to talk about, right? We
Absolutely.
could talk all day about inspections, right? So we could talk about polybutylene, and you can tell them why that's important, but usually homes of
1976 to 1993.
that's polybutylene, but then before that, you would still want to scope anything before 1975, maybe?
We've actually started, and we've talked to people about doing scoping on new construction.
And why would that be?
Because when you think about a construction site, you've got all this heavy equipment driving on loose dirt.
And all that stuff's getting into the pipes.
It's causing the pipe to bow down as the trucks keep driving over it. So you get a belly in the main drain of the house. Nobody knows about
That's
it.
why a lot of these newer communities are having plumbing issues, which
Right.
are like, so you think it's because they're using plastic versus
Has
cast
nothing
iron.
to do with it.
Okay, okay, so if we learn nothing today, and I just learned something, I never even thought to do it on new construction, but that is a really good idea.
We do a lot of work in all of the jail communities.
Even on a foreclosure, you'd want to do it because you don't know if somebody got mad
Absolutely.
before they left, and you hear about the stories of people pouring concrete down the pipes.
We joke that you don't know that little Johnny didn't flush Barbie down the toilet and she gets stuck in the drain on
Have
the
you
way
ever
out.
found Barbie if you're scoping? That'd be kind of funny, actually.
No, we haven't yet, but
Okay.
I'm sure at some point we might.
Yeah, okay. So then,
But-
then we're talking about termites. You need to have a termite inspection.
Correct.
And what else am I missing? Roofers, sometimes you'll put on there to protect yourself. It will say to,
Have a roofer come out and fully
and-
evaluate it.
right, to get.
And we do have a roofer that we work with
Mm-hmm.
who is in an industry that is questionable for ethics. We have a roofer that is unbelievably honest. We have a system that we use called Repair Pricer that will give estimates for what we have found as defects in the house.
And it will match pretty much what the roofer comes out with later
It's a
on?
98% accurate report.
Okay,
And he looks at it and goes, I'm like $20 difference.
that's awesome. So do you give estimates for everything on? Okay.
That
'Cause
is
we used to
an
see that, and we're
old-
not seeing it now.
Because technically, as a home inspector, you cannot give an estimate of damages unless you're a licensed GC. Because to give a written estimate, you have to be licensed in that specialty by state law.
Oh, so
to
it can't
do
be
that.
a general GC, it's gotta be an.
It can be, a general GC can give a range.
Right, because I've seen ranges, but then I haven't, but I thought these programs maybe were developed, because a lot of you home inspectors use programs, and those
That's
programs.
this program we have called Repair Pricer. They
Okay.
take our report, it's fed into artificial intelligence. They price it, and then they have a contractor review it. All of this is done and returned to us in 24 hours.
Oh, so you give reports next day?
Actually, our home inspections are all same day. Repair Pricer comes out the next day.
Oh, okay. Okay,
We
that's
deliver
interesting.
everything same day. It may be 7 o'clock at night, but they are all delivered same day.
And would you say that your pricing for these reports are comparable to other inspectors around town? Would you say
We're
you're?
probably a little higher than the average.
Okay,
I won't lie. With our experience and with the services we provide and the quality of what we do, you get what you pay for.
so funny you should say that. So I'm going to ask you how you pick out your home inspectors that work for your company, because there is a home inspection company, I'm not going to mention any names. They use very young guys, and I mean, some of them, I think they're 19, 20, 21 years old. They come out, they crush our deals.
I know who it
Crush
is.
our deal. Yeah, we could talk about that afterwards. But they crush our deals. Lots of times I have agents ask me, as well as I ask them, well, who are you using for a home inspector? Because, right off the bat, you know where this deal is going to go. And most times you're either getting whacked over the head with repair costs, you're getting told to fix things that aren't needed to be fixed, and then you have somebody else come out and they then say, there's nothing wrong with this. I had them have me change a panel.
Welcome to my
So-
industry.
So how do you vet your employees?
I actually have one inspector who was a realtor.
Oh,
For
then he
many
must suck.
years.
I'm just kidding. I'm really kidding.
No, he actually is now one of
I'm
my...
joking. I don't know who you are. I'm just kidding.
No, actually, he is now one of my field managers.
Okay.
He used to use us for inspections.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to kill the deal. He knows,
But
that's not good for business.
He was never a strong salesperson as a realtor. He was more of a trainer.
Okay.
And we started talking, and he was into flipping houses and understood construction. And I sent him to school. He got trained and licensed, and he's been with me now over 4 years. Some of my guys came in right out of college,
Okay.
but
Was it college or was it inspection school? I mean.
no, it was several were college.
Okay.
Several we got from an inspection school that we're affiliated with. My youngest inspector is now 30,
Okay.
all the way up to 74.
You have a 74-year-old inspector?
My inspector manager, Ken, is 74 years old,
Okay.
and it'll take a bullet to get him to stop. He's just one of those old school, doesn't want to stop because he thinks he's going to die when he stops.
Makes sense.
Which, you know what? I'll take those every single day. But I try not to bring in existing inspectors because I have to untrain them.
Well, give me some ideas of things that you would want to untrain them at.
The way they write reports,
And that
the
is
way they discuss reports.
like?
I can tell somebody we've just inspected the largest POS in the world, but when I'm done, they're going to smile and say thank you. Where the company who I believe you're speaking about, when they get done explaining it to you,
You're buying
have a
another home
migraine.
inspection from them.
Right. You have a migraine because you feel like I got beat over the head with the home inspection.
Right.
There are ways, and I don't know if it's my Northeast mentality, there are ways to explain things to people in a way that you don't scare them.
Right.
Our reports, a lot of the comments are canned, but my inspectors have the ability to customize the comments.
Okay.
Every report's reviewed, and we make sure that we're not ever considered a deal breaker. I don't think in the 16 years I have ever been accused of being a deal breaker. And we've done well over 12,000 home inspections.
Wow.
I mean, I've done 8,000 myself. So
Wow.
I've seen a lot and done a lot and crawled in a lot. And I love the industry. We help coach other inspectors around the country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And train people around the country. My 3 other business partners are the same way. We all follow the same method of how we teach and train. And that's why we've melded so well together through the years.
And so you have some big news coming, right?
We have some great news coming. We had a sister office in Tampa that we were parallel to each other.
Okay.
They started in 2005. I started in 2006. Same name, but separate corporations. Through the years, we've shared marketing, shared style, shared basically everything. And as of January 1, we are merging as one large company with 24 home inspectors.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So,
It's very exciting.
And I think that being that we're in a down market right now, it shows that you started in a turning market. You're able to maintain an attorney market. I find that I tell that to people all the time. I say, you know, in 2008, when the masses were running the other way, I was still selling homes. I was one of the top agents still, and I was pregnant. So to me, I'm like, if you could be pregnant and still sell a lot of homes, and people are saying, I'm not buying because nobody knew what to expect and prices were really low. So
It's an interesting market right now because I listen to the people talking and going, oh, the market's going to collapse. Oh, the market's going to collapse. There's another rush of foreclosures.
I've been waiting.
It comes down to whether or not the people who have, obviously in the past several years, significantly overpaid
Right.
for what they bought, whether they're able to unload it before the foreclosure and maybe lose some money, or let it go.
Right.
There's no way to tell. If I could buy that crystal ball today, I would.
Right.
But
And there is so much and we could talk about, and believe it or not, we have already talked for our full time. So, Mark, tell me,
Yes.
what is the best way for people to get in touch with you if they wanted to talk to you about home inspections, hire your company? What's the best number to reach you at?
our office is open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 6 days a week. It's 561-676-0546.
Say it again.
561-676-0546.
Okay, and again, if you're looking for a top agent and want to make sure that you avoid those home pitfalls when selling your home, give me a call, Laura Sanders, at 954-650-0827. If your house is already listed with me, trust me, we've already walked around those pitfalls, so you won't be worrying about those if you listen to me. So again, tune in with us next week, and hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust.